Have you ever stopped to ask yourself what kind of voice runs your life? The voice of doubt or the voice of power? Every choice you make, every risk you take, every dream you chase is filtered through the conversations happening inside your own head. And if those conversations are filled with fear, hesitation, and excuses, then even the brightest opportunities will slip away. The truth is simple. If you don't master your mind will master you. Most people don't realize how much of their life is ruled by automatic, repetitive thoughts. Psychology shows that the majority of what you think today is the same as yesterday, and most of it leans toward the negative. That inner critic you hear when you want to try something new, that voice that whispers you're not ready, not good enough, not capable, that voice is not truth. It's conditioning. It's the echo of past doubts, past failures, past fears. And if you allow it to control you, it will steal your future before it even begins. But imagine the shift if you took control of that inner dialogue. Imagine if every time doubt rose, you answered it with certainty. Every time fear appeared, you replaced it with courage. Every time your mind told you to quit, you spoke back with persistence. This is not fantasy. This is a discipline, a training, a practice that anyone can master. The brain is adaptable. It learns what you teach it. And if you train it to think in patterns of strength instead of weakness, you become unstoppable. Think about it. When you wake up in the morning, what is the first thought you allow into your mind? When you face a challenge, do you instantly expect failure or do you demand victory? These micro decisions, invisible to the outside world, are shaping the path of your entire life. The battle is always fought before it reaches reality. Win it in your mind and life outside bends to follow. Lose it in your mind and no amount of luck or opportunity can save you. Mastering your mind is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about noticing the thought that says, I can't, and replacing it with, I will. It's about recognizing when fear tries to shrink your vision and choosing instead to expand it. It's about catching yourself when you spiral into overthinking and deciding instead to take action. Every time you redirect a negative thought, you strengthen your mental muscle. Every time you choose courage over doubt, you build inner power. And that power compounds. Over days, over weeks, over years, it transforms you into someone unstoppable. So why does this matter? Because life will challenge you. It will test you with setbacks, rejections, and moments when everything feels heavy. If your mind is weak, you will break under the weight. But if your mind is strong, you will rise higher every single time. You will not be ruled by fear. You will not be limited by self-doubt. You will carry the kind of unshakable confidence that creates results, attracts opportunity, and inspires others. Stay with this, because the strength you are about to build is the foundation for every rule that follows. When you master your mind, you gain the ability to master your time, your discipline, your energy, your purpose. Everything in life begins here. This is where victory starts. This is where you begin to win life itself. If mastering your mind is the foundation, then controlling your time is the structure that determines everything you build upon it. Time is the most precious currency you will ever own, yet it slips away faster than anything else in your life. You can always earn back money. You can rebuild relationships. You can recover from failure. But the minutes that are gone forever. And most people don't lose life in one catastrophic moment. They lose it in small pieces, wasted on distractions, drained by habits that give nothing back, surrendered to things that don't matter. Think about how easily hours disappear. A few minutes on your phone becomes half an hour. Half an hour becomes an evening. Days roll into weeks. Weeks roll into years. And suddenly, the dreams you once felt burning in your chest feel distant, buried under time you can never reclaim. If you don't take command of your time, someone else will. Your job will take it. Other people's demands will take it. Distractions will devour it. And you will wake up one day realizing that your life has been lived on someone else's terms, not your own. Winners understand something powerful. Time is not just passing, it is shaping. Every choice of how you spend your hours is a seed planted in your future. Use your time with intention, and it compounds into growth, progress, freedom. Waste it, and it compounds into regret, stagnation, frustration. The difference between people who rise and people who remain stuck is rarely intelligence or talent. It is almost always how they spend their time. The human brain thrives on focus. Research shows that deep, uninterrupted work produces results that scatterbrained effort never can. This is why you must defend your hours like a warrior protects a treasure. Guard your mornings from distractions because how you begin sets the tone for the day. Dedicate time to what truly matters, your health, your growth, your vision, because no one else will fight for it but you. Stop giving your best energy to what leaves you empty. Stop wasting your limited days in places, habits, and conversations that pull you further from the person you want to be. Every wasted hour is a silent thief, but every hour invested with clarity is a builder of destiny. Even small amounts of time consistently focused on the right priorities transform everything. 10 minutes of discipline daily becomes hundreds of hours in a year. Hours that could create a stronger body, a sharper mind, a new skill, a business, a different future. The power is not in waiting for a perfect moment. The power is in realizing that this moment is all you will ever have. Control your time, and you control your life. Let it slip, and life will control you. The clock is not stopping for you. It is not waiting for you. It is not slowing down for your excuses. Right now, this second, the countdown continues. The only question is whether you will own it or waste it. Those who win life understand this truth deeply. Time is the raw material of every dream, and how you use it will decide everything you become. Owning your time means nothing if you lack the strength to use it well, and that strength is built through discipline. Motivation is fleeting. It rises and falls like a wave. Some days you wake up ready, but other days the weight of resistance feels unbearable. If you only act when you feel like it, you will never rise beyond mediocrity. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is not inspiration. It is relentless discipline. Discipline is the ability to act not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. It is the refusal to negotiate with excuses. It is the decision to keep moving when comfort pulls at you, when distractions call to you, when fatigue tells you to stop. Discipline is not glamorous, but it is the force that shapes greatness. Without it, your vision collapses under the weight of inconsistency. With it, you create momentum that nothing can break. Psychologists call it delayed gratification, the power to choose long-term rewards over short-term relief. This ability is one of the strongest predictors of success in life. Studies show that people with greater self-control achieve higher levels of health, wealth, and happiness than those who chase only what feels good in the moment. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement, between who you are now and who you want to become. Every act of discipline is like lifting a weight. At first it feels heavy. At first it feels unnatural. But every repetition builds strength. When you wake up early instead of hitting snooze, you cast a vote for your future self. When you keep working after motivation fades, you engrave resilience into your character. When you choose to complete what you started instead of abandoning it, you teach yourself that your word matters, even to yourself. These choices stack, and over time, they create a version of you that others cannot recognize. A version of you that refuses to be broken. Without discipline, you drift. You give in to impulses. You sacrifice what matters most for what feels good in the moment. And then you wonder why your dreams seem distant, why your progress feels slow, why your life feels stuck. The answer is not luck. The answer is not talent. The answer is consistency, and consistency is born from discipline. Think about it. Every successful person you admire is not carried by motivation alone. They are carried by habits, by routines, by daily disciplines that they repeat regardless of how they feel. That is why they rise while others remain the same. Discipline is the great equalizer. You don't need to be the smartest, the strongest, or the most gifted. If you have the discipline to act daily, to stay consistent, to endure the boredom of repetition, you will surpass those who rely only on bursts of inspiration. Discipline is not punishment, it is freedom. It frees you from the chains of procrastination. It frees you from the weight of regret. It frees you from the endless cycle of starting and quitting. When you live with discipline, you live with power, with direction, with certainty. And when you combine discipline with the clarity of time and the mastery of your mind, you create a force within you that cannot be stopped. Discipline gives you direction, but direction means nothing if you lack the energy to walk the path. Energy is the fuel of every action, the invisible force that drives focus, determination, and creativity. Without it, even the most disciplined plans collapse under exhaustion. With it, challenges feel lighter, obstacles shrink, and progress accelerates. Protecting your energy is not a luxury, it is survival. Most people fail not because they lack dreams, but because they allow their energy to be drained by things that give nothing in return. They let negativity invade their mind, toxic people consume their spirit, and unhealthy habits weaken their body. Every distraction you indulge, every conversation that leaves you empty, every habit that depletes you is a leak in your fuel tank. And when your energy is gone, you have nothing left to give your vision. Your body, your mind, and your spirit are constantly influenced by what you allow in. The foods you eat, the sleep you prioritize, the exercise you neglect or commit to, they are all either building your energy or stealing it. Science shows that physical vitality directly impacts mental performance. When your body is strong, your mind sharpens. When your body is neglected, your focus fades. Protecting your energy begins with the simple, consistent choices that strengthen your foundation. But energy is not only physical, it is also emotional. Every person in your life either lifts you higher or pulls you lower. Surround yourself with negativity, and you will feel drained before the day even begins. Surround yourself with strength, and you will feel empowered to push further than you thought possible. Protecting your energy means setting boundaries, saying no to what weakens you, and choosing alignment with people and environments that feed your fire instead of extinguishing it. Your attention is energy too. Every hour spent consuming negativity is an hour stolen from creation, growth, and purpose. The content you watch, the voices you listen to, the words you repeat to yourself, they all carry weight. Feed your mind with doubt and you drain yourself. Feed your mind with strength and you expand your energy. What you consume, you become. What you allow, you absorb. Guard your attention as fiercely as you guard your time. When your energy is strong, everything changes. Decisions become clearer. Resistance becomes lighter. Momentum builds naturally. You stop fighting against yourself and you start flowing with power. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is necessary if you want to show up fully for your vision, for your loved ones, and for yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot win life if you are constantly depleted. The truth is, life will always demand energy. The world will always try to pull it from you, but you are not powerless. You have the choice to stop leaking it into battles that don't matter, into habits that destroy you, into people who drain you. You have the choice to preserve it, to strengthen it, and to direct it toward building the future you deserve. Energy is the foundation of power. Protect it, and you give yourself the fuel to rise above every challenge that stands in your way. Energy gives you the strength to move, but the direction of that movement depends on the path you choose. Life offers two roads, comfort or growth. One feels safe, the other feels uncertain. One keeps you where you are, the other transforms you into more than you thought possible. Comfort whispers that you can rest, that you can wait, that you can stay the same. Growth demands that you rise, that you stretch, that you walk into the unknown. And if you want to win life, you must choose growth again and again, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. The human brain is wired to avoid discomfort. It clings to the familiar because it feels safe. But safety is an illusion when it comes at the cost of your potential. Psychology shows that the zone of real learning, real strength, real transformation exists just beyond comfort. That uneasy feeling you resist is not danger, it is growth trying to pull you forward. And if you run from it, you run from your own evolution. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it steals from your future. It lulls you into a false sense of security while your dreams quietly decay. Growth feels hard in the moment, but it gives you power. Every time you embrace discomfort, you expand what you are capable of. Every challenge you step into builds resilience, sharpens confidence, and strengthens character. The pain of growth is temporary, but the regret of comfort lasts forever. Think about every time you wanted something more, a stronger body, a sharper mind, a deeper purpose. The path was always uncomfortable. The workouts burned, the studying stretched your focus. The new skill felt awkward. The change demanded sacrifice. Yet on the other side of that discomfort was transformation. You were not the same person anymore. You were stronger, wiser, greater. That is the reward of choosing growth. You meet a version of yourself you could never discover in comfort. Comfort tempts you because it gives instant relief. Growth tests you because it demands patience. But the people who win life understand that growth is the only road that leads to fulfillment. The temporary relief of staying the same cannot compare to the lasting power of becoming more. Growth gives you pride, strength, and purpose. It turns fear into courage and doubt into certainty. Every day, you stand at the crossroad of comfort and growth. Will you take the easy path that keeps you small, or will you take the difficult path that shapes you into greatness? The choice is yours, and it repeats with every decision. Wake up early or sleep in. Speak up or stay silent. Push further or give in. Each choice builds either the prison of comfort or the empire of growth. Growth always requires risk. It always carries uncertainty. But the greatest risk is not failing. It is refusing to try. Refusing to grow is choosing to live the same year over and over, calling it a life. If you want to win life, you must be willing to be uncomfortable. You must chase the unknown. You must trust that the path of growth, no matter how hard, always leads to greatness. Growth demands courage, but courage is hard to sustain if you are surrounded by weakness. The people closest to you shape the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. You may believe you are independent, but human behavior is contagious. Energy spreads, attitudes spread, habits spread. If you spend your days with those who doubt, complain, and settle, you will begin to absorb their limits. If you surround yourself with those who push, build, and believe, you will rise to meet their strength. You are not only shaped by your choices, but also by the environment where those choices are made. Social psychology proves that we unconsciously mirror the standards of the group around us. If mediocrity is the norm, excellence feels unnecessary. If excuses are constant, effort feels wasted. But if ambition is the standard, if resilience is expected, if strength is demanded, you begin to stretch to meet the level of those around you. This is why your circle is either your greatest anchor or your greatest engine. Too often, people cling to relationships that drain them out of fear of being alone. But the cost of staying in the wrong environment is far greater than the fear of solitude. Every minute spent around those who dim your fire is a minute stolen from your growth. You cannot rise while chained to those who refuse to climb. Respect yourself enough to release what holds you back. It is not cruelty, it is self-preservation. When you walk with those who are strong, something inside you awakens. You feel challenged, stretched, uncomfortable, but also alive. Their standards lift you, their drive inspires you, their resilience reminds you of your own. Greatness is not built in isolation. It is sharpened by iron, shaped by the company you keep. Find people who refuse to let you settle. Seek those who demand more of you, not less. Build a circle that multiplies your strength, not one that dilutes it. This is not about surrounding yourself with perfection. It is about surrounding yourself with direction. People who are striving, learning, and growing. People who understand that discipline, energy, and growth are the real currencies of life. People who, by simply being who they are, remind you that your excuses are too small for your potential. If you want to know where your life is heading, look at the lives of those around you. If you want to know what your standards truly are, measure them against the people you spend your time with. You will always rise or fall to the level of your environment. That is why the bold protect their circle as fiercely as they protect their dreams. Do not settle for relationships that weaken you. Do not give your time to voices that feed your doubt. Choose strength. Choose vision. Choose people who make you uncomfortable in the best possible way. Those who remind you that you are capable of more. Because when you surround yourself with strength, you will never walk the path of growth alone. You will rise together, and that rise will be impossible to stop. The strength of your environment lifts you, but even the strongest circle cannot shield you from the reality of pain. Life will cut you, it will test you, it will confront you with losses, rejections, failures, and struggles you never asked for. Pain is not an exception, it is a guarantee. Yet the difference between those who rise and those who collapse is not the presence of pain, but what they choose to do with it. Most people let pain break them. They allow it to shrink their confidence, poison their thoughts, and paralyze their actions. They ask, "Why me?" and remain stuck in the wound. But the ones who win life choose a different path. They take the fire meant to destroy them and use it as fuel. They transform pain into power. They understand that scars are not signs of weakness, but evidence of survival, proof that they were tested and refused to surrender. Psychologists call it post-traumatic growth, the phenomenon where individuals not only recover from hardship, but rise stronger because of it. Pain forces you to see yourself clearly. It strips away illusions, reveals your resilience, and demands growth that comfort never could. Every challenge, every setback, every heartbreak carries within it a hidden lesson, a seed of strength waiting to be claimed. The question is not whether you will feel pain, but whether you will let it define you or refine you. Pain can be the weight that crushes you or the resistance that builds you. When you choose to learn from it, to rise from it, to use it as a reason to grow, pain becomes your ally. It sharpens your vision. It strengthens your courage. It hardens your spirit into something unbreakable. No comfort, no ease, no safety can ever give you the same depth of character that pain can provide when you refuse to let it defeat you. Do not run from it. Do not numb it. Do not hide from it. Face it, feel it, and then rise from it. Every setback is a chance to rebuild stronger. Every rejection is proof you dared to try. Every failure is training for the strength you will need later. When you shift your perspective, pain is no longer a punishment, it is preparation. Preparation for greater battles, greater victories, greater heights. The truth is, pain will visit everyone. You cannot control when it comes, but you can always control how you respond. And in that response lies your power. If you give it meaning, it becomes strength. If you give it purpose, it becomes fuel. The people who rise the highest are not those who never suffered, but those who refuse to waste their suffering. Your scars are not something to hide. They are symbols of the fire you walked through and the strength you carried out. Let them remind you of what you overcame. Let them remind you of what you are capable of. Let them remind you that nothing, no matter how painful, can stop you from moving forward. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And when you decide to turn pain into power, you unlock a level of resilience that makes you unstoppable. Pain transforms you, but transformation without direction leaves you wandering. To rise beyond survival and into true fulfillment, you must anchor your life in purpose. Without purpose, even success feels empty. You can collect wealth, status, recognition, and still feel the hollow echo of something missing. Purpose is the compass that turns achievement into meaning, struggle into sacrifice, and effort into legacy. It is the force that makes you unshakable when life tests you, because you are no longer moving for yourself alone. You are moving for something greater. Psychology proves that people who live with a strong sense of purpose are healthier, more resilient, and more fulfilled than those who drift without it. Purpose fuels endurance. It provides clarity. It gives you the strength to keep pushing when nothing else makes sense. When you know why you are here, distractions lose their power. Sacrifice becomes easier. Discipline feels natural. You stop chasing validation from the world because your mission already validates you. Ask yourself with courage, why am I here? What am I willing to dedicate my life to? What impact do I want to leave behind when I am gone? These are not light questions, but they are necessary if you want to live with depth instead of drifting through existence. Purpose does not always appear suddenly. Sometimes it is built, discovered through action, revealed step by step as you choose to give meaning to your journey. What matters is not that you find it all at once, but that you commit to living with intention rather than aimlessness. Without purpose, every obstacle feels heavier. You question whether the struggle is worth it. But with purpose, the same obstacle becomes fuel. Pain becomes tolerable when you know it is serving something bigger than yourself. Hard work becomes meaningful when it is tied to a mission. Purpose transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary because it reminds you that what you are building is not just for today, but for tomorrow, for the people who will be touched by your efforts, for the life that will ripple outward because you dared to live for something that matters. Your purpose does not need to impress anyone. It does not need to be compared, measured, or validated. It only needs to be true to you. For some, it is creating. For others, it is serving. For others still, it is leading. The form does not matter. What matters is that it ignites you, that it drives you, that it makes the grind of each day meaningful instead of empty. Living without purpose is like running endlessly on a treadmill, exhausting but going nowhere. Living with purpose is like climbing a mountain, challenging, but every step brings you closer to a summit that matters. The climb is hard, but the view makes it worth it. Do not settle for existing. Do not settle for moving without direction. Anchor your life in purpose, and every struggle gains meaning, every victory gains depth, and every day becomes a step toward a life that is not only lived, but truly won. Purpose gives you direction, but direction without discipline collapses under the weight of temptation and distraction. Discipline is the bridge between intention and reality. It is the power to act not when it feels convenient, but when it is necessary. Without discipline, dreams remain only ideas, floating endlessly in the mind. With discipline, those same dreams become tangible, built piece by piece, day by day, through consistent effort that compounds into greatness. The truth is, discipline is freedom disguised as restriction. It may feel like saying no to your impulses limits you, but in reality, it sets you free. Free from regret, free from wasted time, free from the constant cycle of starting and stopping. Every moment of discipline is an investment, and those investments create a life of stability, power, and control. The person without discipline is a slave to emotion, dragged endlessly by moods and urges. The disciplined person is the master of self, choosing the future over the present, strength over weakness, and progress over comfort. Psychologists have shown that willpower functions like a muscle. It grows stronger the more you use it. Every time you choose focus over distraction, every time you choose effort over laziness, you train yourself to become stronger, more resilient, more capable. Discipline is not a gift you are born with, it is a skill you forge. Each decision is a repetition. Each repetition builds character, and character is what determines destiny. Do not wait for motivation to appear before you act. Motivation is temporary, fleeting, and unpredictable. Discipline is steady, reliable, and unshakable. Motivation may inspire you to start, but discipline is what carries you through the long nights, the early mornings, and the moments when quitting feels easier than continuing. Discipline whispers to you when no one is watching, reminding you of who you said you wanted to become. It is the voice that demands alignment between your words and your actions. If you want to win life, you must learn to master the small battles. The battle to get up when the alarm rings. The battle to work when distractions call. The battle to stay consistent when results are not yet visible. These are not small at all. They are everything. Because how you do the small things determines how you do the big things. Victory is built in silence, in private decisions, in the relentless commitment to show up even when nobody claps for you. Discipline also protects your energy. Without it, you spend time chasing impulses that drain you, leaving nothing left for what truly matters. With it, you conserve your focus, pouring it only into what aligns with your purpose. It is not about doing everything. It is about doing what must be done again and again until it becomes second nature. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent, intelligence, or luck. It is discipline. The willingness to stay consistent long after the excitement has faded, the determination to keep going when excuses multiply, the ability to demand more from yourself than anyone else ever could. That is the edge. That is the separator. Build the discipline to control your actions, and you will build the life that others only dream of, because the one who conquers themselves cannot be defeated by anything outside of them. Discipline sharpens your path, but without resilience, you will break under pressure. Life will test you. It will throw obstacles in your way, not to stop you, but to measure how badly you want what you claim you desire. Resilience is the ability to stand back up after being knocked down, to adapt when circumstances change, and to continue moving forward even when the road feels endless. It is not about avoiding struggle, it is about facing it with unshakable resolve. Hardship is not a punishment, it is training. Every setback is shaping you, toughening you, preparing you for a greater level of strength. When everything feels heavy, that weight is not crushing you, it is forging you. Just as muscles only grow when they are torn and repaired, the mind only becomes stronger through challenge and recovery. Resilience is built in the fire of difficulty, and it is the key to lasting success, because nothing worth achieving will come without resistance. When you meet pain, do not retreat. Pain is a signal that you are growing. Psychologists have shown that humans adapt to stress through what is called anti-fragility. The more we are tested, the more we can handle. Resilience transforms adversity into fuel. Where others collapse under pressure, the resilient rise because they have conditioned themselves to see struggle as part of the journey, not the end of it. Think about it. Every person you admire has faced setbacks, criticism, and failure. What separates them is not that life was easier for them, but that they refused to stay down. They decided that defeat was temporary, but their determination was permanent. Resilience is the difference between giving up after rejection and trying again with greater wisdom. It is the force that turns wounds into lessons and obstacles into opportunities. You must train yourself to expect difficulty, not fear it. Most people crumble because they thought the road would be smooth, and when reality proves otherwise, they stop. But the resilient prepare for storms. They accept that pain, loss, and struggle are inevitable, yet they commit to standing firm no matter what comes. That commitment gives them power over circumstances. Nothing can truly break the one who has already decided not to quit. Resilience also protects your mind. Without it, every criticism, every failure, every delay feels like the end. With it, those same experiences become stepping stones. You stop seeing failure as who you are and start seeing it as part of the process. You stop being fragile in the face of rejection and start becoming unshakable in your pursuit. This shift not only strengthens your progress, it frees you from fear. When you know you can rise again, nothing has the power to paralyze you. Resilient people are not the ones who never fall. They are the ones who refuse to stay down. They keep walking through pain. They keep building through chaos. They keep believing when everyone else doubts. And that is why in time they always win. Build resilience, and every challenge becomes a tool. Every struggle becomes a lesson. Every setback becomes preparation. When you master resilience, life cannot defeat you. It can only shape you into the unstoppable version of yourself.